use those vouchers, because a lot of families who live in certain areas of the market might be a bus journey away. They will only go to there, and it's probably going to be a little bit more expensive.
People like human beings rather than cliches or tabloid inventions. Some would choose to have parcels over vouchers if they could be confident that the parcels would contain at least as much as they could buy with the vouchers. Or
yeah,
more.
But I think everybody's needs are different, and the schools are perfectly capable of speaking to the families directly and saying, what would you prefer? And for some people, a parcel, if it's of reasonable value,
well, that's the point.
It's definitely a good thing to have. Parcels that are going out. How could you possibly take money from a hungry child, which is all they've done, for the sake of profit? I mean, it's only just a little bit of profit. I mean, these can't cost more than £5, some of them, and they're charging £30 for it. It's sick.
I'm glad you said that. I don't know whether it's because we sort of had a little bit of fun in the first hour of the programme. I don't often get emotional on air. Sometimes it hits me when I get off, but this is just gross, isn't it?
But it's the worst kind of profiteering that you can imagine.
If it is exactly as it appears to be, and at the moment the evidence is mounting, the website of the company concerned has crashed. I don't want to sound like a complete snowflake, but I can't believe this goes on. Does that make me sound really naive?
I was surprised at how bad it was, and I know that if you go back to when, I remember when Theresa May pledged to do the free breakfasts for kids, and it equated to 17 pence per head. And you think some of the spending is ludicrous, but when you look at this and you see the pathetic servings of food, it's embarrassing, and it's so shameful. It's the worst kind of bad, because it's literally food, taking food from a hungry child. That's all they're doing, and it's so wrong.
Good God, you're right. They're taking food from a hungry child. Jacob Rees-Mogg would probably call it uplifting if he was able to offer a review or explain why it's a wonderful example of free market in action. I
think something needs to be done, and I think these companies need to be outed, and they need to pay it back. They can't get away with this now. They can't. And
do you want to know something weird? Can I tell you something? Sorry, I'm treating you like my therapist, but I don't want this to be true. This one. I don't know why this one's got me so hard. I don't want this to be true. I want evidence to come. I want to have to apologise on the programme tomorrow and say, actually, this was nowhere near as bad as it looked at first glance. Because this is just... How does a country find its way back from this? Because you know that the people will be encouraged to... Someone will pick up on the fact that the example you experienced was a refugee, and they'll be encouraged to close their eyes to the fact that, you know, families who could trace their lineage back to the Doomsday Book will be caught up in this as well. And other people will be encouraged to think, well, if you can't afford children, don't have them. Other people will be encouraged to think that, well, the parents have probably spent it all on a flat screen television. Other people will be encouraged to think, well, this is what happens if fathers don't stay around. Every little bigot and prejudiced person in the country will be encouraging decent people who began decent, to come down and blame something other than the system for this. And I just don't want it to be true, but you're confident that it is, I sense.
Well, I think some of the evidence of the parcels that families have received is there. You can see the photos, and I don't know how true they all are.
No, of course. If it's happened to one family, it's one family too many. Do you want to plug yourself?
How degrading to those people as well who have received those parcels, to be said, this is what you're worthy of, this is what your child is worthy of.
Yeah, but that's why you have to dehumanise them, you see. If you're a right-wing tabloid journalist, you have to dehumanise them, otherwise people would respond by imagining how they'd feel in the same situation, and the minute they do that, well, the model of government that we're currently living under collapses. But that's why empathy is the enemy, you know. It's why Black Lives Matter gets portrayed as Marxist. This is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Can I help you at all? Is there anything we can do to help you with what you do?
I mean, to be honest, we at the moment we do have some availability to many schools around Greater Manchester, need any support, then they can, I think the best way to get in touch is to direct messages on Twitter. Our restaurant's called Vertigo. It's at Vertigo MCR, as in Manchester on Twitter. Send us a direct message if you're a head teacher.
But only if you're a head teacher. Don't. Michael's got a lot on his plate, if you pardon the pun. Unlike these poor kids. Then don't waste his time, except with genuine inquiry. Mate, thank you for what you're doing. I'm sorry that you have to do it.
No.
Oh my God, I'm glad you are.
Thank you.
From Eat Out to Help Out, to starve a kid to save a quid. It's 11:33. It's not even saving a quid, is it? It's redirecting it from the hungry children to the companies run by former members of David Cameron's business advisory group. Holly Harris is here with your headlines.
Britain's top police officer is warning forces will move swiftly to fine people who blatantly ignore lockdown rules. 300 penalties have been given out in London in just 24 hours. New figures show almost half of hospital deaths in England and Wales in the last week of 2020 involved COVID-19. More than 3,100 people had died after contracting the illness. A shortage of Royal Mail staff who are ill or self-isolating is severely delaying postal services in 27 areas in England. They include Leeds, Chelmsford, Widnes, Margate and parts of London. The Communication Workers Union wants postal workers to be prioritised for the coronavirus vaccine. The weather milder with cloud and rain in the southwest of England and West Wales. Cold and sunny elsewhere with a few wintry showers in the far north and east. A high of 10 Celsius.
This is LBC.
I just didn't know where to turn.
It just all got a bit much.
I just didn't think I could cope. I just couldn't see an end to it.
I just didn't think I'd feel happy again.
I just kept it all inside.
I just bottled it all up.
If you're dealing with feelings of anxiety or depression, just talking can help. NHS Talking Therapies are a free, effective and confidential way of treating common mental health issues. The last year's been difficult for everyone, and if you've struggled or are struggling, know that you're not alone. The NHS is here for you and help is available. NHS Talking Therapies can be offered face-to-face, on the phone or even online with trained therapists. And our services have remained open throughout the pandemic, so don't just bottle it up. Don't just keep it inside. Just talking can help. It can make all the difference. Ask your GP to NHS Talking Therapies or refer yourself online at nhs.uk/talk.
Okay, so we all know the rules now. Social distancing. Support bubbles. Wash your hands. Meet up outdoors. We know they're important, so we're not throwing away the rule book. We're just taking it on holiday. For less. Virgin Atlantic sail. Now on. Flexible booking and COVID-19 insurance included.
Lidl Plus is Lidl's new rewards app. It's everything you love about Lidl, plus there's loads of savings. Plus new coupons every week. Plus deals on the stuff you buy all the time. Plus loads more simple ways to save as you shop. Plus every month the more you shop, the more you save. Big savings, no fuss. That's Lidl. Load the app today and get £5 spend. T's and C's apply. See lidl.co.uk/Lidl Plus welcome for details.
Why start the new year with bad broadband when you could have brilliant broadband for only $24.99 a month in our best ever Jan sale? Launch into 2021 with BT Superfast Fibre, because BT has the big three: speed, security. Make 2021 a year of brilliant broadband. Visit bt.com to join now. Why wait? New customers, CPI plus 3.9% increase each March, $32.99 for month 25. Offer ends 21st of January. Terms apply.
The self-assessment support may be available to help you out. For more information, go to gov.uk/self-assessment. Remember, the self-assessment deadline is January 31st. Start yours today.
Thought PPI was all over. Claim, a claims management company, can check PPI on every credit card, loan and mortgage you've ever had. And with Fast Track Solicitors legal action, you could still claim it back. It's not over yet. Find out. Text YES 27. You don't need a claims company to check PPI and can claim through a solicitor of your choice.
Fast Track Reclaim. Text YES to 82727.
Leading Britain's Balanced Conversation, LBC, with James O'Brien.
22 minutes to 12. It's a weird one, that, isn't it? I don't get it. I know you think I'm such a snowflake sometimes, but food parcels have been brought in to replace £30 vouchers given to parents to spend in supermarkets as schools close for remote learning. But one mum valued the contents of her parcel at no more than £5.22 if bought from Asda. And then, of course, the floodgates open. And I hate this. I really hate this, because the reason why they get away with it is because people are ashamed of being poor. What calls did we take back in the day from people who would almost hide their faces when they went to food banks? Uplifting, Rees-Mogg called them. That was, I can't remember whether that was before or after he accused the people who died in Grenfell Tower of lacking common sense, but hey, Dovecap, Tug Forlock, he's on your side. People are so ashamed of needing this sort of help that we don't know how little help they're getting. And as I understand it, this scheme came into existence because these companies claimed they could provide more food for these children. I am close to you can probably tell, there are times where you just think, why do you bother? Not because this stuff goes on, but because people in the same profession as me dedicate their entire lives to facilitating this sort of abuse, to facilitating this sort of scandal, to encouraging you, as someone who's currently doing okay, just to look at these poor souls and feel hate. Why do they have kids if they can't afford them? Just start the flipping stopwatch before you hear someone say that. Seriously. It could be it. What's the point about safety nets? John's in Bath. Sorry, John, I'm getting a bit emotional. I wasn't expecting that, but my God, I just can't imagine. All right, one more. Do you mind? Sorry, because I'm just thinking about my family, and I don't
Absolutely.
Go in hard on my family on the show. Not since they became old enough when their school friends know who I am and what I do. But I would just say this: every family in lockdown is dealing with a different selection of struggles. Some big, some small. And if an incredibly comfortable family that can have Deliveroo every night if they wanted it is, dealing with some of the negatives and some of the issues, I cannot begin to imagine what it would be like if you opened the box in which your